When I look back on my childhood and the anime that I consumed over the years, I recognize that while I enjoyed a lot of what I watched, there aren't many series that left a lasting impression on me. Not to say that every anime needs to be mind-blowing or life-changing. I just find that the series I'm drawn to the most are the ones that have the ability to change the way that I look at things. Anime that leaves an imprint on how you view other anime or just life in general. There are a handful of anime that do that for me. Fooly Cooly stands firmly in that list for me, but it didn't always.
Nothing really special ever happens here. In this place. School sucks. My dad's a weirdo. And there's my brother's girlfriend. I don't even know what to say about her. Anyway, life was pretty slow.
Fooly Cooly, produced by the veteran animation studio Gainax, is the story of a young boy named Naota, who lives in a town where nothing happens. He meets a mysterious woman on a Vespa and everything changes. Giant robots, aliens, guitars, spicy curry. Pure wackiness and explosiveness is something to behold with this anime. The animation and art style are amazing. For a series that came out a decade ago, it still holds up even to today's standards. Every episode uses different animation and art styles, which really keeps you on your toes while you're watching. The music is incredible. Almost entirely composed by the J-rock band The Pillows. I love the music. I love it so much that I even use one of the songs as my intro. So the aesthetic of the series is great, but what about everything else? I'm sure you guys know by now that I'm more interested in the story and the characters when it comes to anime, so does it still hold up? Well, I can definitely tell you the first time I watched it, I didn't think so. Fooly Cooly used to air on Toonami when I was a kid. At the time, I didn't really get it. The characters were really wacky, they talked funny, and the story was kinda all over the place. Something was just really off-putting to me, since I was more used to my media being upfront about its themes. Nothing really made sense, so I decided to drop it, which I think happens to a lot of people when they first watch Fooly Cooly. Fast forward to my junior year of high school, when a close friend of mine tells me that he really likes the show. I asked, what was so great about it? What was the point? And he replied saying it was about growing up, being a kid. He said it took him a few watch-throughs to really understand, but if you pay attention to what characters are saying, you'll start to see past the wackiness. Him telling me this was enough for me to go back and give it another try. I mean, it was only 6 episodes, so what's the harm? I went in with a different mindset, to actually try and understand what the show was trying to tell me. And I cannot express the overwhelming feeling of realization that came over to me the moment I started to pick up the meanings behind this roller coaster of an anime. This is a story of love, relationships, coming of age, discovering and coming to terms with who you are. The differences between being an adult and being a kid. This anime with only 6 episodes somehow has so much to tell the viewer, it blows me away. There are deep, relatable themes here masked by erratic and childlike directing. What at first seemed like a series of random events between this awkward kid and this insane Vespa woman became a cohesive story from start to finish about a boy, Naota, who lives in the shadow of his older brother, hanging around a girl who doesn't love him and tries to act grown up when he meets Haruko, an older girl in the search for something she loves and will do anything and use anyone to get it. Naota's encounter with Haruko and the machines that spring out of his head cause him to face his true emotions and grow in ways that he never thought possible. It's not just Naota and Haruko that are important here too. Almost every character in the story are representatives of the themes being expressed. From family causing one to act one way when deep down you want to act another, losing the one you love and trying to find things to replace them, to pretending to be a grown-up but never truly moving on from your past. I can go on and on about the things I picked up, but I think what's great is that people can watch this and walk away with their own interpretations. Along with the characters, every episode has its own theme within Fooly Cooly's narrative. My favorites being 4 and 5. One focused on jealousy and making the first move in life, while also somehow being a metaphor for losing your virginity.
That. Impressive.
He's only a little kid.
All while being portrayed through baseball, by the way. And the second being about masculinity, wanting to stand out and be wanted by someone. My favorite quote in the whole show comes from episode 4, what Haruko says to Naota in passing. He's afraid to swing the baseball bat during practice, afraid he won't be good enough like his older brother, but deep down he wants to be. She simply says to him,
Anyway, nothing can happen till you swing the bat.
This really hit home for me, a quote that I carry with me to this day. This anime just connects with me on a personal level, and I think it's written perfectly. By the end of my viewing experience all those years ago, I felt like I just watched something that I will remember for the rest of my life, and so far it's been true. I still return to it to this day, not just because it's enjoyable through and through, but there might be something I pick up on that I didn't before. Fooly Cooly is something that took me time to understand, something that would have completely bypassed me if I had never had that faithful conversation with my longtime friend. I'm grateful that I was able to rewatch it and experience what it had to offer. My only hope now is that you, watching this video, will go and experience it for yourself, to watch it with an open mind and perhaps walk away with something that you will keep with you. This anime is what I would consider a true masterpiece, and I have no fear saying that. 10 out of 10 to the story about kids, love, Vespas, and eyebrows.